What it do, my people at home, tuning into La Plebada podcast page. Tonight, in our podcast, we have a special guest. Tonight, we have the East Coast meets the West Coast connection for the first time. And next to NYC Midtown, in La Plebada podcast, we have DJ Ella from California. So let's give her a round of applause, please.
Yeah, aplauso.
Hoy nos acompaña en los estudios DJ Ella, a female DJ that's quickly, doing her thing in the Mexican industry, which right now is hitting hard, which is Latin raves, Mexican raves, Latino parties, which is a mixture of Latin music with a little bit of techno. But I think what people want to know more about DJ Ella is where did DJ Ella started, like her background. Like we know she was from California, but originally, where does she come from? Like your family background, what inspired you to be a DJ? We know you used to be a dancer for Quebradita. So, we want to know a little bit about everything that the people don't know, because the people already know that you're a DJ and you can mix it up and, full house. But I guess they want to know more, like the deeper stuff about, everybody. I feel like everybody always talks about how they make it to the top, but they never really talk about their struggles.
Most definitely,
like how they get there. So tonight we're going to talk about how you started, how you became the superstar that you're slowly, going right now. And yeah, that's what we're here for, to discuss about, the Mexican rave, the Latin parties, how the music industry is changing now in the United States. Because in Texas, New Mexico, Phoenix, the movement is strong. Like right now, the movement is at its peak. But here in New York, it's just getting started. It's like a newborn baby that nobody knows what to do with it. But slowly, it's creeping in slowly. Like, because in New York, it's mostly about reggaeton or, hip hop. So this tematica that we're doing now, it's something new that's been going on in other states. But in New York City, it's like, it's like when rap came to New York for the first time. Like people just apenas lo están conociendo.
Yeah.
And they're liking it because they've seen that it's not only a new idea, but it's created from our back culture, like music, like como Los Inquietos, Los Tucanes, all the music that comes from our culture, just blended in with a little bit of more techno in it.
Exactly.
So they get it, they starting to understand what it is, and that's nice that people in New York City are starting to love the Mexican rave. So our first question is, first of all, when you first started, you say that you was born in San Francisco, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, San Jose.
San Jose. So tell us a little bit about how was it growing up in San Jose, growing up at home, like.
So I feel like, the East Coast and Northern California are very similar. I think we're like tastemakers. I think there's a lot of culture that goes from, the East Coast here and like Northern California. I grew up with like E40 and like Mac Dre and all those type of, Too Short and stuff like that. Okay. So I feel like we all kind of grew up with a lot of culture, a lot of taste making, and a lot of things that like has now crossed over around the world. Let's see. So in San Jose, it's very, very lots of different cultures and stuff like that. My parents are from Mexico City, and then they migrated from Mexico to San Jose.
Okay.
They met actually at a nightclub that I just DJ'd at last weekend. That was really, really cool.
Nice. So it's in the blood.
Yes. Oh, yeah. My parents still go out clubbing till this day. They love to dance and stuff like that. I was raised always with cumbia.
Okay.
Going to family parties. I think that's what really helped my sound today.
Yeah. That's basically the Mexican tradition. Los 15 años.
Exactly.
We're always in a party. And any way you see it, Mexicans always convivimos to have fun. Anything, we turn anything into a party. Baptism, or que se graduó la niña de la escuela.
Anything.
Let's throw a
It could
party.
be anything.
We find an excuse.
Is late, we still make a party.
Yeah, we just find an excuse to party.
Yeah.
No, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you grew in that part, and like you said, that how you started, and also we want to know, one question that we want to know is, before you wanted to become a DJ, like what did you want to become before you were thinking about even starting like to become a DJ?
Well, I think in Mexican culture and stuff, like my parents migrating from Mexico to the States, I think they think about schooling as being super, super important. And I think they were trying to push me to do that. I always wanted to, if I did school, I think I always wanted to just help others, maybe being in like a therapy kind of job and trying to do that. I also think that's, I think that's what they wanted me to do. Thank you. But yeah, I think that was a very important role with me because I wanted to make my parents proud, but at the same time, I feel like you can do everything that you want to do, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to school for a lot of these things.
Yeah,
but I think it's a different take when I tell them, hey, I want to be a DJ and stuff like that. Because to them, it's like they don't know any better, right? So it's like they only know what they came out here for. You work hard. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make money. And they want the best for you. And I think also they know, there's a lot of celebrities from Mexico, artists from Mexico or in Latin culture that they do make it, but they also come with a lot of struggle. And I think as parents, they never want to see you struggle ever,
yeah, that's true.
and I think that they want you to, it's just the route of what they think in their head. That's why they came over here to live the American dream. But I also think living the American dream is trying and working hard and doing what you got to do to make that happen.
That's true. Our parents did. Most of our parents migrated from Mexico for a better living. That's right. You're correct. And, basically the city life is, you don't have time for anything but just work.
Exactly.
You don't really have time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The day goes fast, it's a fast life, especially in New York City. In New York City, I don't even have to tell you today, you probably got here like around 10 in the morning. With a blink of an eye, it was 5 in the afternoon. Yeah.
I'm a city girl, but I'm not this type of city girl. It's a little different for me.
This city right here will consume you, like quick. It'll drain you, like fast. Like you wouldn't even imagine. But it's the city of dreams.
Yes.
This is the city where if you wanna be somebody in the music industry, New York City is where you gotta be at. This is like the spotlight. Mm-hmm. We also know that this is the first time here, in the East Coast. Well, it's not your first performance. You have performed here before a couple of years back, right?
Yeah. A couple of years back, I did perform here, but never like now how the Mexican raves and stuff like that is happening. This is my first time, and I'm really excited.
And you know what I find cool and exciting is how you have a mixture of blending like Los Inquietos del Norte, mm-hmm. which I saw, and the other songs like the Juan Gabriel, which are like artists that are classic among our culture.
Yes.
And then you put like the techno beat in the back, and the people respond to it because as soon as they hear the first lyrics of the artist talking in the back, they know the song.
Of course.
And so they already hyped, they already know. So when they drop the boom, boom, because the generation from now is different than the generation that was a couple of years back. Like the music has totally changed from like 10, 15 years back. It was even the techno was different. It's not the same as now.
No, and what I think is cool is that like I grew up with Mexican music my whole life and going to family parties and stuff like that. And I can resonate with, even if it's the song that everybody might know and it's a remix. But I also think being a DJ, I love to play things that even people might not have heard, because I think that's the definition of a DJ. Yes, you have to play what things are common and what people know, but I also think you have to play things that what they don't know. And you're a tastemaker and you have that ear candy that maybe they haven't heard it, but once you play it, they're gonna like it. And I think that's always a big contribution.
You always gotta be able to like read the room.
Yes. Of course.
Like everybody could start DJing and just put like hits after hits, mm-hmm. and people would dance. But it's hard to actually come and put a song that's not a hit, and make everybody stand up. That's when like you feel happy inside yourself. Like you feel like, oh man, I did it. I didn't need a big banger, because most DJs when they come to the club, they put like all the bangers, like what's popping in the radio, what's hot, the banger to the banger. Mm-hmm. But it's good when when you start from scratch, that you edited, but you're a producer as well, right?
Yes, vocalist, producer, yes.
So it feels good knowing that you produce your own beats, and people dancing, and you see a big crowd. That must make you feel good when you're doing your thing in the DJ.
Yeah, nervous and good, because when you make something, you hope people like it, and I think that's the nerve-wracking part. But I think it's always good when you get to play your own music to the crowd, because that's kind of like, that helps you as a producer, whatever you're doing, to like see like what's working, what's not. Maybe I can change something, and
No, yeah, of course, but hay un dicho que dice, the day that you get on stage and you are not nervous anymore, that's the day that you don't like what you're doing no more.
Yeah.
So if you have 10 years in the industry, 15 years, and you get on stage and you still feel like that nervous, it's because you still feel.
Trust me, I've been doing this for like 10 years now, and I'm always anxious, always nervous, but it's because I care, and I love what I do.
You love what you do.
Exactly, and I care about it. I want it to be good, and I think that's a good feeling to have, even though it sucks having the feeling sometimes because you wish it can stop, but I also think it's a good feeling. Yeah.
Because you want to give the crowd, like a good show.
Of
like,
course.
Que vengan por lo que vengan a disfrutar el party.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning, yes, you're nervous and stuff. But then as soon as you start, boom, 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 that's it. The nervous goes away. It's like you start, you can see the buttons without even looking at them. You already know what you're doing. And that's the good thing. That's when you feel good that you're actually moviendo the crowd, that makes you feel good inside because you're like, oh, this is me. This is me working, like, nobody else but me. Especially now that if you think about it, there's been a lot of women that have been coming out as DJs too now.
Yes.
Because a couple of years back, there was very, very few DJs that were women. Very few. Like, you could count them.
I think when I started 10 years ago, it wasn't that much. And then now it's starting to hit more. But I think it's always harder for a woman because it's like, I think in everyday world, people always sexualize women or just whatever. Or they're, oh, you're a girl, you can't do this. Or, oh, like men and women, right? It's like, of course. We've always been built like that. Like, oh, men are supposed to work. Women are supposed to stay at home. It's like, but why can't we just all be even and do the same thing?
Como el machismo, right? Yeah. I mean, Mexican families have a lot of that, del machismo.
Of course.
That we have a lot.
Of course.
We known for that.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
in this industry, that has never really brought you down that you're a woman. That gives you like, doesn't that give you like more
energy? Yeah, exactly. I think it gives me more of a boost to like keep going and know that like it's cool, It's not anything that I'm frowned upon. I'm never like, oh, he's a guy. It's like, no, it's just like everything's so even to me that's like they're doing something cool, and I'm very, I love seeing people win, and just that's it. You just got to focus on yourself, and that's really what it is.
Now let's take it a little bit back to like the past, a little bit back. So we know that you used to be a quebradita dancer for like you were just telling us off the air a bit. So tell us how that came about. Like, how did you went from transition from being a quebradita dancer to DJ Ella?
Okay, so long story short, I had a quinceañera, didn't want the quinceañera, then I got the quinceañera, and then we did it a week later. We had to do the baile sorpresa. I found some kids in my high school that knew how to dance, quebradita and all this stuff, and I had them do my baile sorpresa for me, and once they saw that I can do like front flips and stuff like that, they were like, oh, okay, like come to practice with me, and I did, and it turned out to be much bigger than I expected. It was a lot of dance crews and stuff, and I started dancing, competing, and I was winning first place all the time. And it was a fun experience. And from there, me and my partner, we used to make like our own DJ mixes, and I used to use virtual DJ at the time to make our own quebradita mixes. And then from there, I have a cousin-in-law of mine, that he works in music, and he would always push for me to do something in kind of that lane because he always saw that I was very like a dancer. And so he was the one to kind of like, he was DJing and everything. And I think that kind of inspired me to do it. And then when he moved to LA, they were like, yo, you got to come out here. This is where it's at. And in the Bay Area, it was happening, but it wasn't happening like in LA,
Different.
Yeah, very different. So yeah, that's how I switched off. And then that's when I started DJing. I moved and I left. I told my parents I was going to stop college, and my mom cried like if it was the end of the world, And
Mexican
she was like, when are you leaving? I said, in a week. I literally broke as hell. I took everything in my car, whatever I could, and I left to LA and struggled and did all that, but made it happen. And
so basically, you come from like a music family. Like you say you have cousins that so music is in your blood, basically.
Yes.
One way or another, whether it's a dance or whether it's mixing, it's already in you. You have it.
Yeah, and it's all connected, right? So it's like rhythm is so important, and I think that when you feel that rhythm inside of you, and once you play it out loud to people for dance, I think it's very easy for me to resonate because I look at myself as like, okay, if this was me on the dance floor, this is what I would want to be dancing to.
So how was the transition from the Bay Area, when you moved from the Bay to LA, how was it? Because it's a different, like, say it's not the same.
Yeah.
How did you feel once you got to LA? How did you feel?
I mean, it was different. I think I moved out when I was 20. I was really young. And I think when I moved out, it was like, I literally felt like a puppy. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know who I was going to run into. I didn't know the trials and errors that I was going to get into, and I think like all that kind of shapes you and the person you are today. And I think that everything that I went through going from the Bay Area to Los Angeles was very, very different. But I also think that it definitely molds you, I feel like it definitely builds you to be a stronger character and to understand all these things and why everything had to happen the way it did. And it's different. Bay Area and Los Angeles, even though they're 5 hours away, it's very different.
It's a whole different monster.
Very happy I did it.
No, and like you said, you did it, like you moved out like that. You said you didn't really have a plan. You didn't, financially, it wasn't like
I didn't have a plan, but I had a vision.
Exactly.
And
that's all that counts. Yeah. Once you have the vision, nobody would understand that but yourself.
Of course.
That's the only person that would understand. You could tell that to a lot of people, but they won't really get it.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one that actually could see like the whole infrastructure of what's gonna happen. And that's cool, Like, I personally never been to LA, but
you gotta go.
I wanna I think that would be one of my first places I would like to go.
You have to
go,
LA.
Because it's like LA has a lot of different like places, like East LA, then you have the nice LA, then you have like the bougie LA. So it's like, it's
but
nice.
It's not walkable like out here. You
no,
can't.
Of course not. No.
It's so hard. It's crazy out there. Yeah.
But how you like how you like New York? Like, what you think is different from New York, even though, LA is bigger than New York? What you feel here that you don't feel over there? Like, what you like about New York that you say that you can take yourself from here and be like, this is what New York got, this is what I like from New York?
Culture. I think the culture is really big here. I think everything's very grounded here. I love that, it's very walkable to get to things. Out there in LA, you see somebody walking and we look weird, It's like, why are you walking? Out here, it's like, it's a big culture and I love it. Every time I'm here, I feel like I'm at home. It feels good.
It's a lot of transportation here too. You can get anywhere. Walking. Bus. It's a lot of transportation.
Which I'm used to. I mean, like, we're always in car driving in LA, but here it's like, but it's good. I think it gives you a good perspective, and I love traveling and seeing different places because it's like I love seeing how other people, like, this is your guys' day to day,
correct.
And I find that that's really cool,
And out of all the cities that you played in, which one have you say that, like, oh, this is the place that left a special place in your heart? Like, out of all the places that you played, which one you would say, like, oh, you still remember, like, here and there, you're like, oh, that place was like nice, I still have it here in my heart? Like,
I think every place I go to definitely shapes me as an artist, and I think it helps me understand a lot of things. And honestly, I love every place I love going to because you see things that are so different, and I don't like to stay comfortable and thinking that I'm going to just stay in a bubble. And I love coming to New York. I love going to Denver. I love going to all these different places because I think I pick everything and it resonates with me, and you start growing like that.
What other states do you have played in?
States, let's see. So far, I've done like little couple things. I've done like what? Like
You've
Ohio.
Done Chicago.
Yes, I'll actually be in Chicago next week.
Chicago is like New York.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like, Chicago's like New York is like the father, Chicago's like the kid.
Yeah.
It's almost similar cities.
Yeah.
It's almost the same.
What's crazy, like you said earlier, like, I think it's cool that, like, I feel like Mexican culture and Mexicans, I don't think it's very, like, I don't think it very had like a hit now that it is now.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of younger generations are starting to embrace their culture like that. And I love that because it's like, usually you hear reggaeton and you hear all these things, but now that I'm hearing like things that I heard when I was a kid, and I love that.
No, the Mexican culture has grown a lot. Yeah. It has grown a lot because a couple of years back in New York City, what was holding New York City down in the Mexican culture was cumbia. Mm-hmm. Like, that was a strong side. Like, if you didn't have cumbia in a party, people would leave because they needed cumbia. But now it's like, it evolved to the part where it transactioned into like, they put cumbia, bachata, merengue. Now they're putting the Latin rave, they're introducing all of that music, and they're taking it pretty well. Like, the generation from now is liking that type of music. Yeah. They're vibing with it. They, you know how they say that every song, every music identifies every person. Sometimes they go through what they think the music is saying.
Yeah.
I feel like this generation of now, likes to rave.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I have not only seen it here, like I've seen it in Chicago, I've seen it in Phoenix, I've seen it in especially Texas.
Yeah,
It's
Texas
really
is a
strong
huge
in
market.
Texas.
Like,
I heard wonderful things about Texas, that the rave is just insane over there right now.
I've DJ'd at El Paso one time. This DJ, his name's DJ Cage. He's like a big influence out there, and it was right next to Juarez. But they have a big Mexican culture over there.
Culture, right?
Yeah, very. So it's fun. Different though. Texas is very different, but we're all the same, you know. So.
Do you ever see yourself like in the future or the near future like DJing in Mexico?
Yes. Yeah.
That's something you would like to do, right?
Yeah, hopefully this year.
And if you mind me asking, you know, like where would you like to be the first place that you would love to DJ in Mexico?
It depends. I feel like there's so many different clubs there, but I think area-wise would be Mexico City. My parents are from Mexico City, and it's home for us.
Yeah,
you know?
you want to go back to like home base.
Exactly.
No, especially Mexico's growing a lot with they have EDC Mexico now.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, we flipped it around and we became like a big potenza in music now.
Of course.
Like, you know, before they know it was there, but they didn't really pay attention. But now they know we're here. Like we're making a stand now.
Most
like
definitely.
They know we're coming.
Exactly.
We're like the most up and rising. Exactly. Así mismo. Yeah, we were like the underdogs.
Yeah.
But now we're like contenders.
Yeah, I think, you know, I never think that we've always been underdogs. I think we've always been there. I think it's just taken a while to actually pay attention to what's been happening because it's always been there.
Yeah,
you know?
I believe that too. I believe that it's always been. I just believe that
the attention now is happening, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. It was all about like timing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The timing a couple of years was not there. It was tried before here in the city a couple of years back. They tried that, but it wasn't really as strong because, like I said, cumbia was like, you know, everybody in New York City is mostly from Puebla.
Okay.
You know, they're from Puebla.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Puebla York in the building. Everybody from Puebla, Mexico. Yeah, everybody, mostly in New York City is either from Puebla or from Guerrero or Oaxaca.
Okay.
That's like that's what New York City is, like the backbone of New York City is.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people from the city, they're not really from New York. But that's because, you know, the city is a little bit bigger. There's not a lot of struggles in the city, so there's no necessity for you to come over here.
Yeah.
Like in Puebla or, you know, all the little other parts of Mexico where it's not such as good. Mm-hmm. So you have to, like, you know, try to go somewhere else to try to make ends meet. Yeah. Like our parents, basically. Mm-hmm. You know,
of course.
That's why you see more people from here. But I'm pretty sure that in Texas, it's not a lot of people from Puebla. There's like the people from there is mostly
like
from
Juarez and stuff like that. Yeah,
like close to the borderline. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's you could tell the difference between people as well.
Yeah, of course.
Because we all look different from whatever place we're from. But you know, that's what's up. The music is growing. Eventually, it's growing in Mexico. It's growing in Chicago. It's growing everywhere. And we wanted to grow here. This is what we wanted to grow the most. We wanted to grow in New York because I feel like once it hits here harder in New York, it's gonna expand to other states. Yeah, sky's
the limit.
I think here, once it hits hard here, it's gonna expand to other states.
It already is.
It's getting there. I don't want to say that it's at its peak, but it's almost there. Like the volcano's about to erupt. It just, you know, needs more like headliners, like more people to come from other states to actually come here to headline to act. Because you could, like, what we've been doing is we've been showing people what the Mexican rave is, but I don't think they have understand fully what the Mexican rave is.
Got it.
You know, it's like an idea that's implanted in their heads, but I think that they still don't get the potential that it really has, like the word. Like, I feel like it has a lot of potential, but the way we use it here is like, you know, we still use it como zapateada, tribal, which is still considered, but it's not really what we want to, you know, bring out to the people. Like, for example, what you do is different. That's really like, you know, rave. That's what we want to introduce here.
Yeah, I play a lot of tribal, guaracha, Latin, techno, EDM stuff in my stuff.
Here, this is not, they don't play a lot of EDM.
Yeah.
It's mostly tribal, mostly like...
But they like it. They love it.
They do.
Perfect.
They love it. They love it because le pones el sazón.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Mexican sazón.
Yeah.
You put it all together, and it comes out into like a creation. So they know that it's a Mexican song built in with an EDM beat.
Yeah.
So what's not to love about it? Yeah. Mexican songs is like the best.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll be seeing a lot of that. I'm like I want to play what they're familiar with tribal and stuff like that, and go into the EDM side of things. So I think it'll be a fun night.
It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be more than fun. I think it's gonna be a packed night. Everybody's gonna go home happy. Everybody's gonna go home drunk, of course, because that's where they come to have a good time.
Of course.
And everybody's gonna be happy. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good party. This is gonna be actually the second time that we have a headline in Next NYC.
Oh, it's amazing.
So this will be the first one was Ray Burger.
Yeah.
The first one was Ray Burger, and it went really well. Oh. And you know, Ray Burger's is a little bit more. His beats a little more harder.
Yeah.
They're a little, and they reacted pretty good.
Good.
You know,
that's good.
So this is the second headline that we're gonna have, and I think it's gonna be. I want to say it's more than great. I think it's gonna be an awesome party. I think people is gonna come show love, especially because this is the first time that they're actually gonna see like a woman.
Yeah.
That do her thing, because like I said, in New York City, there's not a lot of DJs that are women, and there's a couple, but the ones that do it, they do perreo or reggaeton.
Yeah.
So it's like a different type of vibe that it's nothing to do with what we do. So I think people are gonna come, they're gonna enjoy it, they're gonna like it, it opens more doors for the future, a possible comeback in a couple of months, maybe in the summer, the sky's the limit, we don't never know where we're gonna go.
Exactly.
But we gotta start somewhere, because also, I feel like the one thing that I feel that stops a lot of Latinos, not just in DJing or not just in the music industry, but I think one thing that stops a lot of Latinos is fear. And I think that's the reason why you made it, because you said that you just got in your car, you didn't have a plan, you didn't have an idea.
No, but I felt something. I felt like there was something in me to change something and to live out of that fear, because in life, right, it's like you gotta do things. So even if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you could always get out of your comfort zone. And I think that's really important what you said.
But if you think about it, out of, let's say, 40% of the persons would have not probably done what you did.
No,
they would have probably went back, they're like, oh, I'm going to rethink it, then they would have went back to their normal lives. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by fear.
Yeah.
Like you grab fear like como el toro from the horns, and you're like, it is what it is. If I make it, I make it. If I fail, I fail, You learn more from failure than you learn from winning at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Because winning, everybody talks about their wins, but like I said, nobody really talks about, how many times they fail.
No.
Because in order to be a successful person in the world, you have to fail a lot.
Of course.
A lot.
Of course. And there's always been, rebranding with me. I was going through I used to go by a different name, changed my name. Like, it's just, there's things like that happen in artists all the time. But I'm happy that I'm still here and happy to reconnect with you guys. And
how did you came about your name, DJ Aya? How did that get? What made you say, okay, that's the name that I'm going with, that's the name that I'm sticking with? Like, what's the meaning behind that?
So my name's Gabriela. Okay. I took the E-L-L-A for my name, and then I just said Aya, and I like it because when it's like Aya, it means her. So it's like, who is that? It's her. So
okay.
I think it's strong.
So it's basically you just took the last 3 letters of your name, which is what a lot of DJs do too. Very popular. Okay, then it came out good.
Yeah,
it came out good. It came out more perfect than you ever thought.
With it. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. That when you runs naturally, it flows naturally. You don't gotta try it.
No.
You know how some people gotta try so hard to get it right, and then somebody else comes and they just do this and they do that, and it's like it works out perfectly.
Exactly.
I feel like that's because those people have like a light, like something inside them that it shines. That is like no matter what people do, like I feel like that can never be taken away from them.
No.
Like it's always gonna be there with them wherever they go. Like they're always gonna shine. Like if you got it, you got it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I feel like that's how it is. That's how it's always gonna be in the music industry.
I think consistency. I think you can be the greatest. I think maybe sometimes you don't have to try as hard, but I think the people that really make it is the people that always work hard every single day, and you kind of surpass the people. Talent doesn't, it's not always everything. I think hard work is everything.
Yeah, hard work beats talent, of course. Yeah. The harder you work. I mean, unless you're like a god, then you don't need to be hard work. But that's like 1 in a million.
Exactly.
But yeah, mostly hard work beats talent. You gotta, if you love something, you gotta work hard. There's no other way. There's no excuse. There's no slacking. If you love it, you gotta go for what it is. You gotta go straight for the kill. And that's good. Like, this is the first time that we have had a DJ girl too on our podcast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is the first time, so we're like Like, like I was telling Louis upstairs, I'm like, yo, this is the first time we're going to have a girl in the podcast, a DJ, especially, doing the Latin things that we've been doing upstairs. So it's like, it couldn't have come in a more perfect time, if, because we know that you were supposed to be here a couple of months back, but, case scenario didn't work out.
And now we're here, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
I want to say that it was perfectly on God's timing. That's what it was.
Of course. I think it was always. I think it was going to work out regardless. So happy that we're here today and get to party tomorrow.
I just hope that you brought your party hat.
Definitely.
And you're ready.
Las botas y todo.
Las botas, and you're ready to go. Salud. Because tomorrow's crowd, they like to party.
Good, I'm glad.
They like to rave.
I'm
excited.
Like
to drink. They like to dance. Like, they really love. They come. Like, the thing about our parties is that the people that come here, like to our parties, they come to vibe. Like, they see this as a community. Like, it might be the same people coming like every weekend.
But that's good. You want to have that.
Exactly. It's like una hermandad. Like nobody fights. They know what they come in here, which is to have a good time, to dance, have a little drink. Most important, I think that they come here to relieve stress of, the real world. Of
course.
Which is I got to go back to work the next day.
Of course.
So they relieving a little bit of stress. That's what it is. And people find their happiness here because they see that, the place is good. It's in the heart of Midtown. It's accessible. There's a lot of buses, trains. Like you can live in any part of New York City, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. Any train will get you to next NYC. This is right in the heart of Midtown. So there's no excuse for people not to come to here. That's one of the reasons, why we love next NYC, because it's like, en el corazón del área de Nueva York.
You guys are building something strong, and I thank you guys for having me. It means a lot.
We can't wait to see tomorrow,
Yeah, I'm excited.
How you going to scratch that?
Hopefully you guys don't sleep.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
No, we're team don't sleep. We don't sleep.
Yeah. Unless you're going to sleep on the chairs, like we used to as kids.
New York City, you can't sleep.
No, you can't.
Can't sleep here.
It doesn't sleep.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you see people on the streets walking like it's 7 in the morning. You see people running in Central Park at 5 in the morning. There is no sleep in New York City. Nobody sleeps here. Everybody's working somehow. Like, even when I feel like New York City, even when you're not working, you're still working. Because you're connecting, you're making moves, So this city never stops moving. Like, your brain is on like...
Yeah, go, Mom.
Yeah, this city never stops. And that's the good thing, because that's what brings out like the best potential in whatever you're doing.
Of course.
It brings out the best. That's why I think a lot of people from other like states come to New York City.
Yeah, it's great here.
Yeah, out of all the cities that you've been, like, which one you think for you was the best city that showed you the most love? Like, this whole DJ Ella, like, the most love that you said that you got el más cariño de la gente, like,
I think it depends. I think it always depends. But I think every time I go somewhere, it's always been love. So, yeah, I can't pick and choose. Okay. I think everyone shows me a big difference. But, yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I'm excited. Thank you, Nexo, for having me. And
don't forget tomorrow, 1 o'clock in the morning, her set will be from 1 to 2. Don't miss out. I'm telling you right now, don't miss out, because I always be telling you, don't miss out. Y'all don't be believing me. But I'm telling you this time, don't miss it tomorrow. Get your tickets at themexicanrace.com. Don't sleep with it, It's going to be a full night, packed night with a lot of music. It's going to be insane tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's going to be insane. A good one. We got a headliner, DJ Ella, straight from LA. Our first time from the West Coast. Actually, this is our first time. That's why I like to say this, like the West Coast, East Coast connection.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm happy.
We never had somebody from like the West Coast. So
I'm excited.
So, I mean, we didn't, right? Because Chihuahua wouldn't count as we had Chihuahua, the UFC fighter, but he's not like a DJ. He's so
different.
This is the first person that we have like in the music industry from the West Coast. So we're really excited. We're really excited.
Thank you guys for having me.
We can't wait till tomorrow. I mean, I wish it was already tomorrow. But, but thank you for, sharing your time. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. And, más que nada, gracias por venir a Nueva York to show your talent to the people so they can see, what women are made of. And that women can also triunfar en este mundo. This is not a man's world. It's pretty 50-50 for everybody now. And, we appreciate it. And the best of luck. We're always going to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Que mañana la rompas y que la sigas rompiendo in every performance that you make. And we wish you nothing but the best. And, keep it going. Even when you think that you want to give up, just push harder.
Keep pushing, exactly.
Break the barriers.
Likewise.
Keep it going. Don't ever stop.
Likewise.
Because the sky's the limit.
Thank you.
But thank you, mi raza. This is La Plebada Podcast. Want to give a big shout out to DJ Ella from California. Follow her on Instagram. Follow her on TikTok. Don't forget. Show love, mi raza. Mañana nos vemos en Next NYC. Hasta mañana.
Adiós. Thank you.